There, Joanne.
Welcome to LinkedIn Live, our Future Ready Live series, where we talk about topics that will help CPAs, CGMAs, finance and accounting professionals be even more prepared for change and transformation. I'm your host, Tom Hood. I'm the EVP of Business Engagement and Growth for the AICPA and CIMA. And this time we're talking at National Apprenticeship Week. We're actually in the offices of the Maryland Association of CPAs the day after the state of Maryland had a major award ceremony. And we've got a bunch of people. We're going to be rotating in on panels. This is totally unscripted, unprepared. So be ready for anything, but we've got some really good guests that are with us. So first of all, why are we celebrating National Apprenticeship Week? Hashtag NAW 2023 is because we were the very first finance and accounting apprenticeship, registered apprenticeship in the United States. We registered with the U.S. Department of Labor and with the Maryland Department of Labor. We're now 1 year in, and we're talking to a lot of our partners today, employers, who are talking about their experience with some of the apprentices that have recently signed on and the entire ecosystem that it takes to make one of these apprenticeship programs really successful. Now, many of you are probably saying, apprenticeship, I don't need a tradesman, electrician, or what. So this is a professional apprenticeship, and we're excited because we're one of the first. So joining me is Joanne Fiore. She's our Vice President of Pipeline and Apprenticeships for the CGMA Americas and with the AICPA CIMA. Joanne leads our whole Department of Labor registered apprenticeship program. Say hello to our audience, Joanne.
Hello, happy to be here, Tom. Thank you.
And joining me as our host for today, Rebekah Olson, who is the CEO of the Maryland Association of CPAs, and she's our partner in this whole Maryland apprenticeship launch, working with the Department of Labor. So welcome, Rebekah.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
So let's talk about this. How's the program doing after 1 year, Joanne? Let's give them a kind of quick overview. And I know we're on cloud nine because everything going on here, but go ahead. Let's talk about it.
The National Apprenticeship Week, beyond our wildest expectations, Tom. In several areas. First, recognition. You know, last year during NAW, the United States Department of Labor recognized this program as one of 3 new innovative apprenticeships. And this year, the Maryland Department of Labor recognized AICPA and CIMA with the help of MACPA in the best business category. So recognition is so important, and we're thrilled and pleased about that. And second, the employers are really signing up. And, you know, that shows the health of a program. We're up to 18 employers signed on and thrilled about that. And it's employers signing on for different reasons. Mm-hmm. Some are signing on to train new team members like HP. Some want to upskill, for example, Aon wants to upskill existing team members. And some want to reskill. Liberty Bank wants to reskill tellers to come on to the finance team. So we're excited about that. The apprenticeship is being used for different reasons. And finally, I think the real question is, are the apprentices progressing? And they are. They're going through the program, they're taking the exams, and they're progressing. So we're thrilled about that.
And we heard from a few of them today. We're trying to create a cohort, a community in Maryland of all the employers and their apprentices, and that's what today started. But they were talking about how cool it is that it's scenario-based learning. So they're applying it on the job, which is the whole idea, right? Good skills on the job you're in and continuing to promote you from that standpoint. So that was kind of exciting.
Yes, and that's exactly why the related instruction fits so well into the existing apprenticeship. Real-world examples that you're going to see at work. Exactly.
So Becca, MACPA's role, you've been on this journey with us. What do you think your role, and today's a manifestation of all that. So talk about it.
Yeah, it's amazing how much I've learned about apprenticeships in the last year, something that I never thought I would learn, right? But it's really about the opportunity, the tremendous opportunity that the state of Maryland has in professional apprenticeships, and the amazing opportunity the accounting and finance profession has in embracing different models, embracing different pathways to grow the profession, to make the profession more diverse and inclusive. And inclusive means bringing people in with different skill sets from different backgrounds, that upskilling, reskilling, bringing in new hires. The apprenticeship model really fits all of those. And so we're delighted as the community on the ground here in Maryland to be welcoming a new group of folks and re-engaging with folks in the corporate accounting and finance space.
Into our profession. And it's not like one or the other, right? 4-year degrees, the 5th 5-year program to the CPA is still critical.
It's an
and will be, but this is, we think, widening the pipeline.
Absolutely.
And giving that better opportunity as we go. And there's a lot of stuff working in the pipeline that's going to come through, but this is a here and now, especially for the corporate accounting and finance profession. So it's awesome from that standpoint. I do have to recognize we got, not only did we get the award yesterday, but you and Rebekah both were awarded a presidential proclamation from Joe Biden for our apprenticeship program.
So
and then another one from the Maryland Department of Labor from that standpoint. It's just been incredible. So
yeah, we're very excited, and it really shows that the U.S. Department of Labor, the Maryland Department of Labor is so supportive of our type of apprenticeship, professional apprenticeships. And now with launching a youth apprenticeship, so supportive of youth apprenticeships. And we really appreciate the support. We need all that support to be successful.
It takes a community to make this all work, and this is all part of it right here. So thank you all very much for all of your insights. We're going to be bringing on our next set of guests in a minute. So
we're delighted to be part of this ecosystem. The accounting and finance profession is an ecosystem with CPAs, with CGMAs, with ABC, you name it, alphabet soup of credentials and learning experience. And as the MACPA, what we can do to grow that community, that ecosystem we want to support. And we're delighted to be partnered with you all in this journey.
thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're back at Future Ready Live, and I know you all are very flexible as we're trying a very innovative format just in time, right from National Apprenticeship Week at Maryland Association of CPAs corporate offices. And with us are two finance leaders who are sponsors of our first apprentices, and we're going to have them tell their quick story. First, we got Tom White, who's a CPA, CGMA, Director of Accounting at Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield of Maryland. Is it Maryland? Yes. And he's also the incoming chair of the Maryland Association of CPAs. Welcome, Tom.
Thanks. Pleasure to be here.
Awesome. It's great to have you. And then Robin Thiem is the founder, CEO, and CAO, Chief Anticipation Officer.
You got it.
Robin.
You
I like
got
that.
it. You got it.
KBS CFO LLC. So she does outsource accounting for her small business
Yep.
clients, right?
Fractional CFO and accounting.
So two wonderful use cases. So, all right. So Tom, talk about, so why did you choose this for your team? Tell us about how we got here and your first apprenticeships that you brought in.
Yeah, no, thanks, Tom. I think it's one of the key focuses for us is really upskilling and mentorship, right? I think when you look at where the accounting industry is, right, we have a pipeline problem. Let's just be honest about it and step into it. And I think, how do we take those professionals we have and provide them an opportunity to upskill and to learn the softer skills and kind of the more broad skills that they may not get from the debits and credits. And I think that's really important. And I think one of the things we're seeing from an industry perspective is we put a lot of glass ceilings out there where a certification is really important. And I think there are challenges getting there. And I think as employers and as people who are investing in our talent, we need to be able to remove those glass ceilings, and we need to provide them avenues to get certifications and to be better skilled as we move forward.
You're like articulating the why behind this program to a T. So Robin, same question for you. You're
Yeah.
totally different business and industry, so to
Definitely
speak.
different. Yeah.
Talk about what made you do this.
Well, we're in the weeds talking with clients every day about like all the things that make the business tick. And our team is super, committed to the clients and trying to find a path forward. And I have a motto at the company and life is success is learning, which in a way I know you have a similar philosophy. And so I felt like this is a great way to, put my money where my mouth is and, support my success is learning motto. And, already with the program, there's been a lot of light bulbs going off with the work that's happening in the field and our conversations with clients and the team building confidence, and that's part of it too. I've said, I was just talking with another colleague here, and, the program's fantastic, but a lot of the participants have the abilities, and this is going to also add to their confidence to be comfortable as an advisor.
Nice. And so participating in the program today, what stuck out for you? Just any big insights as you look at what happened today?
I think for me with today was networking, right? You're seeing a lot of great companies in Maryland all coming to the table to better their employees, right?
Yeah.
We're not concerned with what we're doing inside of our four walls. Is how do we better our employees and how do we give them a network to connect? And I think one of the great things that the MACPA and the AICPA does is provide that network. And what we need is people to lean into that network, because that's really where you're going to find value and where you're going to be able to find resources for people that are going through the same thing you are, especially in the B&I world.
Yeah. Yeah. It turns out we're all walking the same journey,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess through networking, this is how I learned about this program, because I was chatting with you at another conference and, here we are today. So there's always a return on that investment in people. So, but I think for me today, the word I walked out was upskill. I love it. I love to think about that. And I do feel like at times everybody focuses on what you have to get done today, and they don't really emphasize, why we're here and the value of this being a rewarding profession. And I think, upskilling is an important component to that.
So two of our key pathfinders taking a shot with us and working on this apprenticeship program. The state of Maryland was here, the U.S. Department of Labor.
That was cool.
It's very exciting. And thank you all for sharing your insights with us
Yeah.
today. Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks, Tom.
You're good. Should be good. All right. So this is the third part of our Future Ready Live today. Thank you guys for putting up as we swap out and bring in some new folks. National Apprenticeship Week. We're here at Maryland Association of CPAs. With me is Jeff Lawson, one of our apprentices, who's a former CPA partner in a CPA firm. So Jeff is the CPA MST VP Tax Administration at American Trading and Production Corporation. And with us today, Scott Kellum, who's our Senior Manager of the CGMA Learner Success Program, one of my colleagues at AICPA and CIMA. He's the guy that kind of keeps everybody on the success path from this perspective. So welcome to Future Ready Live, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let me start with this. What stuck out for you in today, and just the kind of ceremony and all that we had from that standpoint? And then I want to ask you some personal about what you're doing in the program.
I was just blown away by the energy, and I knew this was something new, but I didn't really realize how impactful it was, and for the community, and not just the financial professional community, but just the state of Maryland.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a major focus.
It really
We
is.
definitely heard that loud and clear.
Yep.
Scott, what about you? You're coming in seeing the government side of this that showed up today, which was really cool. What stuck out?
The support that's there is incredible. I'm talking about, through the state of Maryland, but also with AICPA and what we do. And I mean, the people are, the apprentices, the learners that are going through this program, they're self-determined already. So now it's just a matter of how to keep that going, that progression growing, celebrating their wins along the way, making sure senior leadership knows what's going on, that they're connected from, a mentor and mentee perspective too. I mean, there's just so many things that no one's going to feel like they're left out or on an island. So,
All right. So this is the interesting part, though, Jeff. You were a partner in a CPA firm, moved into the corporate industry side.
Yep.
And then you said, I want to sign up for this program. Talk about what made you do that.
Sure. And to clarify, when talking about me being a former CPA, I'm still a CPA.
Yeah, you're still a CPA. Sorry.
Just no longer a partner of the CPA
Right.
firm.
Don't take that away.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're not
right.
taking that
Right,
away.
yeah. Unless you know something I don't. Yeah. But no, going into a role in private, and even my role is different. It's not even a traditional accounting role in private industry. That, I do some accounting, but I'm also doing a lot more than that. My role, besides being the tax director, I learned that VP of Tax and Administration covers everything that can't really be categorized. So, which includes risk management. So that's on there. I'm working a lot with our finance and treasury department. So while I had a little bit of background in that, my focus in the CPA firm was more just a traditional tax background.
Yeah.
So the module for finance will help me understand and grow. And also, anytime you're in senior management, any kind of strategy, focus, or training is going to help you, and it's important. And then the risk management module, that's what really jumped out at me, because that's an area that's officially going to be part of my job duty and my job detail. So I've been learning it, but then to have the opportunity to learn it in such a formalized method, and also to be assessed, to know that, okay, not only am I reading this, but now I need to actually apply my knowledge and know that I understand it. So it gives me a lot more confidence in what I'm doing.
Tell us a little bit about the program so far. How does it, what do you like about it? What's it?
I like that it's self-study. You do it at your own pace. So that way, if peaks and valleys, you're busy, whether it's busy at work or at sports schedules with kids, etc. But what's nice about it is the way that it's formatted with the modules. It's very much just, you go in chunks, and it shows your status as you're going through. So it's not like just a big textbook where you're just trying to read a chapter or however many pages. So you can go through and say, okay, tonight it's kind of late, just got the kids to bed, but you know what, I'm going to do this one section and get through it. And then and I know roughly, it might take 30 minutes or an hour, but I'll just knock it out. So just knocking it out in chunks. And then I like how the assessments are guided. And if you do get something wrong, it gives you the correct answer. It walks you through it. So it's really, even though it's self-learning, it's set up in such a way to actually really teach you.
Gotcha.
And not just tell you what you don't know, but to explain and then drill the concepts in deep so that then you can learn it.
Cool. So Scott, you're the man that's trying to keep everybody successful in this program. Talk a little bit about what you're doing, how you do what you do.
Oh, the journey's long. I mean, there's no getting around that, right? But it's as Jeff said, you learn by doing. It's not just a textbook. So it's all scenario based. We get together with cohorts at least once a month. We can do it, more often if we want. If the frequency is such that the cohort wants to do it, we can. I'm available. The team's available in between cohort calls. If there are any issues at all, the resources we have are just incredible. Sometimes the biggest challenge is to find the resource. That's where I come into play and help them find those resources. So it's a challenge, right? It's not for everybody, but those that take it on, that do it, the trajectory that I've seen, and I've been doing this with companies for over 2-3 years now. It's incredible. I mean, there's no guarantee, but you do this, and it is amazing what good things can happen.
Like what? What happens?
Young executive goes through the management program, the management level, strategic level. I reach out to her on LinkedIn. She gets this new fantastic job. The title, I forget,
Right.
But I just congratulate her. And she said, yeah, thanks. It's all thanks to the CGMA. I was just blown away. I was like, wow, that's a heck of an endorsement. So she attributed her new job, her career trajectory to earning the CGMA.
Which is the whole point, right?
Yeah.
It's like literally giving you the right skills for those senior executive levels and all that kind of thing.
And the confidence boost too that it gives everybody.
And that's another key part, the confidence.
Oh my gosh.
We've heard that earlier today as well.
And I see it happen from day 1 to day 366.
Awesome. Well, so thank you for sharing your insights with us today here at National Apprenticeship Week, at the end of National Apprenticeship Week as it closes down today. And thanks for coming today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Welcome back for Future Ready Live. Our next panel. This one actually are a kind of an ad hoc. We roped them to come on in and join us on today's final broadcast at National Apprenticeship Week here in Maryland, MACPA, the Maryland Association of CPAs offices. So with me is Jeffrey Smith, Workforce Liaison and Program Analyst for the U.S. Department of Labor, also formerly the Maryland Department of Labor, correct? Yeah,
Yes,
so it's
thank
awesome to have you here, Jeff. And then Gwen Filipiak, she's Montgomery County Public Schools Instructional Specialist for Work-Based Learning. She's going to talk a little bit about our Youth Apprenticeship Program, which is one of the new additions we're excited about bringing into this whole program. So we're here at National Apprenticeship Week. I'm going to start with you, Jeff, to say, what's been your impression today? And tell the audience what you brought with you, which kind of blew us away from that standpoint.
Well, as some may have heard, the National Apprenticeship and Registered Apprenticeship is a #1 workforce priority for the Biden administration. And I was humbled and honored to be able to have the chance to bring a proclamation proclaiming National Apprenticeship Week from President Joe Biden. This is something that matters and very deeply to him. He's very passionate about. And all of us within the Biden administration have our marching orders and know that we need to be spreading the word as to why registered apprenticeship is the premier workforce development solution, not just for job seekers, but also for businesses like your member companies.
And then talk a little bit about what about our program like sticks out, or what's the significance of it?
Of course, typically when you hear the words registered apprenticeship, most folks think and immediately gravitate to, oh, you're talking about electricians, you're talking about plumbers, you're talking about steam fitters. And yes, indeed, that is the bread and butter historically, as well as in manufacturing, for registered apprenticeship. However, one of the priorities we've had is to make sure to spread the gospel, if you will, that the registered apprenticeship model works for all industries, all occupations. So in particular, we've really been trying to, one way to diversify the apprenticeship ecosystem is by diversifying the industries and occupations that are served. So obviously, when you're able to serve the finance, insurance, real estate, or fire industry, that's huge. That's a game changer. It helps also to diversify your pool of prospective apprentices, because not every person is going to say, I want to be an electrician. But if there are broad ranges of options in different industries, different occupations, including the certified global management accountant, that's more likely to, there's more sticking points for someone to say, I may not like that, but wow, I didn't know you could do an apprenticeship in that. And so that lights the spark in the job seeker, which in turn then serves the business community, because the business community can have these robust talent development pipelines, ideally starting as early as you can, so that you can capture young people right when they walk out of the high school doors with their graduation certificate in hand, knowing with certainty that they're moving into not just a plain old job, but an actual bona fide, attractive career pathway.
Right.
That's what it's
Good
all
paying
about.
job.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then our apprenticeship actually has all those levels. So we just recently are applying for and finishing up the youth apprenticeship portion to get us to that diverse population, which is why Gwen will come in a second. But we also have the ability to come in at a 2-year college, a 4-year degree, or an existing. We have CPAs that we heard earlier today that are taking it for upskilling at the top level. We call it the strategic level. So we've really tried to structure it to kind of continue to meet the needs of accounting and finance in this exponentially world of Gen AI and everything else. So they got the skills they need to succeed from that standpoint. So it's today was really exciting because we had a mixture of those folks in the room with us. And I do have to say, the U.S. Department of Labor and the Maryland Department of Labor have been extremely good to work with. From the minute we registered it at the U.S. level and at the state level, and then continue to be support, like by you coming to this event, you're showing your support, and we really do appreciate that.
Thank you.
Sure.
I mean, part of being a public servant is moving at the speed of business and making sure that you treat everyone who is your customer the way you would want to be treated. And everyone expects and assumes that in a retail setting or in a hospitality setting. But those of us in government, we believe in that too. we are public servants first and foremost, which means we need to provide all of our customers, the American people, with the best quality product and service delivery that's possible.
We totally appreciate that, for
Yes,
sure.
for sure.
So now, Gwen, let's talk a little bit about what you do. I mean, the whole idea of getting the youth ready for these types of careers and jobs. Talk about what you do and how why it matters to you.
So for many years, I've been involved in career and technical education. I'm a firm believer in creating authentic experiences for young people so that they're prepared for what comes next for them. And part of that, what makes apprenticeship so exciting, is it opens that door when they're 17, 18 years old and gives them the opportunity to leave high school prepared for both secondary education and also to move right into a career pathway that can give them a family sustaining wage without necessarily running into college debt or having other barriers that sometimes hold people back in life. So our goal as public educators, as public servants, as people who, me personally, feel deeply committed to developing the society of tomorrow, is to give every kid the most robust opportunity we can for a future that fits their needs and fits the needs of society.
And that was reiterated by Governor Moore yesterday about how important this is to the whole state of Maryland. And that's why we're proud to be working here in Maryland with this stuff. We're working in a couple other states and starting to spread out. But clearly, this is our beachhead right here. And we had a great representation of employers, apprenticeships, and government, federal and state, with us today. So thank you for sharing all of your insights with us, and for the proclamation, by the way. Thank you. So with that, thank you for joining us on Future Ready Live. Join us on our normal rhythm, the first and third Tuesday of every month, right here on LinkedIn.